Alrighty. Roll up and live. Great. Good. Master. Oh, Nep Shadow. Alrighty. Hey, what's up?
Mother, father, come on. Come on, let's play together.
Let's see. Nothing much in my. Nothing new there. Wandering Bard's nice when you can pull it off with the evolve. Oh, they're probably going to Catacomb for 3, which is going to screw me over. I'm a little worried about that. Hey, what's up?
What are you hiding inside?
The Great Clear, just not yet. Alright, let's just try and limit this then. Damn it. I can't use Foul Tempest on it.
What a nail biter.
Make things a lot more difficult. It's an updated version of the Ledger Shadow that I was messing with.
You gonna mess with me?
I've only played 2 games with it, one I won and one I lost. It definitely doesn't handle well against heavy aggro, so against aggro Shadow, kind of a disadvantage. But Dragon seems to be a pretty even matchup so far.
Time to go a little wild.
Okay. Pain in the ass part is Foul Tempest isn't activatable. And these double bloody Shadow Reapers are really going to screw me over. They basically had the perfect hand. Ugh. I probably don't have most of the cards for it. That's my main problem with Dragon at the moment. The meta right now, it's not much different to any other meta. You know, last set it was Daria and Roach. Set before that was predominantly Seraph and Elena. And the set before that I wasn't really part of because the main set hadn't released English set until after. So, and that's a loss. Like any card game, you'll have a few decks that are super strong against everything, and then you'll have every other deck that kind of sits in a tier 2. It's usually what card games are like, so the meta doesn't really surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if halfway through next month we get an announcement about some form of nerf. That wouldn't surprise me, similar to last time. This is what I'm running at the moment. So you use Ledger to predominantly grab Hell and Attendant, but it can also grab the later game stuff when needed. And then use Nep for always to pull in anything else. Dorothy Rune to counter Shadow. Yeah, that's always an option. Two Sybils, one Oro, two Bahas. The only thing I'm missing there would be one extra Sybil. That's it then. Because I've got 3 4-days, I've got a couple of Oros, and I've got a couple of Bahas, but I've only got one Sybils. So, that makes things difficult.
Mother, father, come on. I guess you're looking for a fight.
Other than that, I probably would have everything else then. Throwing in all my high stuff isn't good. I'm trying to complete this Shadow mission as well while messing around with this deck, because I wanted to at least try and refine this down a little bit and see what I could do with it. It's definitely an interesting deck. Plus, I like things that are just for fun. And they actually have some kind of cohesive workings. Alright, so I should be able to go straight into Emperor, grab a carrot, and then hopefully just use that for Infinite Valley. I saw some stats that mid-range Shadow has it. Yeah, mid-range Shadow is currently probably better than aggro Shadow for most things.
Unbelievable.
Ramp Dragon's 54%. Yeah, Ramp Dragon's dropping off a little bit in favor of mid Shadow. That's no surprise because the Ramp Dragon's win rate was probably quite inflated as it was. Because most people were playing Dragon, which means the more people that were playing Dragon, the less other decks you had. Best Dragon against Dragon matchups were always going to end up boosting Dragons to an equal win rate, so it really is confusing stats. I don't like how they use stats like that. It can be very misleading because you end up with very ambiguous stats, which annoys me. Most broken Lego in this set, yeah. I would say, yeah, Edeka's probably a little too strong with the way it's built. Especially with Death's Breath turn 6, Edeka turn 7, pretty much guaranteed. Unless you're using something like Haven that has a lot of board clears, or you beat them out super early, which is difficult because they have a very strong early game. Then you don't stand much of a chance. Alright, so they waste pretty much everything getting rid of that. I'll probably just drop this combo then. And then by next turn, I should have 2 spots free.
This is your fate.
Roach with only 53%. That was not... That's not really how you can look at it though. Because that was by the end of that. If you take Roach's stats from somewhere early on, it was quite high. It was actually nearly 60% at one point there. And Daria was about the same. It was almost at 60% on its own at the start. It's only once a couple months had rolled around. Like, we're still in the first month of the new expansion. By the time the second month rolls around, it wouldn't be surprising to see these win rates drop to somewhere around where the old win rates were. To be a lot closer. Getting an actually good board clear. Board or clearing yours. I'm putting a 5-7, yeah. Lucky picks with Ledger. Not lucky, they're set up to do that. So Ledger can only pull 3 and 4. That's all it can pull. Can't attack with that, unfortunately. And if I spend the Foul Tempest here, I'm going to be at a huge tempo loss. But I don't know what else I can really do. Carrot the Evolve, probably. At least that way I do get the Carrot back, and I can probably just play it with Bellringer. More of a board presence. How would they nerf the Ramp Dragon though? See, I don't know. Because Zeal isn't the biggest problem. The biggest problem is how much ramp they have. Whether they took away the possibility for Sybil to ramp and maybe increased its healing ability to outperform Lucifer. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they can fix Dragon. Dragon's going to be a difficult one. That or come up with something to completely counter it. Because these just you won't get any more value with it. You want to bet? This is kind of why I was keeping it. because a lot of things have been teching in snowmen. Nearly every rune I've faced in the last week has had a snowman tech somewhere. Because they've been kind of merging a D-shift variant with a snowman variant so that they can completely flood the board repeatedly, so they don't have to rely on such heavy late game.
This ends here.
It'd be a real pain in the ass.
Ooh, this is real scarf weather.
Yeah, I agree. Sibyls is the biggest problem with Dragon, but to fix it's going to be extremely difficult without breaking the card. Because they don't really want to break cards by the looks of it.
Want to play?
The fuck off. Yeah, that was the one thing. Like, they seem to be doing that lately and it annoys me. Runes are techie and snowmen, so keeping failed Tempests can always be quite good against them. But I'd say it's probably 50-50 on whether they're going to run snowmen or not at the moment. Yeah, you never know. Like you said, yeah, they have a history of not doing anything with them, but I just don't know what else they're going to do. Might play the Immortal Thane instead of the Mordecai. I don't know what they can do to Dragon to change it at all. Like, Lightning Blast is good, but I don't think it's broken, so that's not going to be a big problem. Nerfing any of the legendaries is going to be a huge risk, and they can't really touch the neutrals because then it affects too large a pool. They only want to affect Dragon. That means they've got to hit Dragon's legends, and the only one to really hit would be Sybil. And there aren't that many decent golds outside of maybe Rahab, but he's just kind of staple, I guess. They don't want to give you Vars. Yeah, that's probably the bigger part. Hey, what's up? Been a while. But they've got to do something. Just nerfing silver or bronze? Yeah, but that's it. What in Dragon can you nerf that is a silver or bronze that won't just break a card? That's the problem I've been trying to think of. Like, what can you do? Like, Shadow's easy because you need to fix Catacomb, and fixing Catacomb isn't that difficult. You make it, say, cost 4 Shadows to activate the effect.
Mother,
That way it will slow it down to at least turn 4 or 5.
fighting in despair, all you know.
Unless they somehow have super early game, which I don't think is going to happen. At the moment, Shadow's only able to use Catacomb in that way because of that. And by slowing down its early game, you're probably going to make mid-range a little worse because they're not going to have that really solid early. So, you know, they can't keep you flooded. So other aggro decks should be then able to beat out that mid-range. So it'll be interesting to see. Is it hidden OP in my opinion? 3 costs with Bane and Storm with Overflow? Yes and no. It's great. Like, Dragon Scythe is good, but I don't think it's broken. I think it's right where it needs to be. It's basically an extra board, like an extra clear for Dragon, because you pretty much got to sacrifice it to clear something. So I'd say that is fairly balanced. Might just play this out. Do not affect skeletons. I don't think that's the biggest deal. I think if you want to fix Catacomb, you just make it so that you can't activate it so early. So giving it a shadow cost of, say, 4, using up all your shadows, meaning you're not going to have those extra shadows for Death's Breath unless you have a big board to trigger Catacomb and kill everything. You're not going to be able to play it super early on 3. You're probably going to be playing it turn 4 or 5, which balances that out a little more for a mid game more than a early game. Sorry, I meant early game. That'll keep it a little more balanced. This is gonna suck, honestly. I probably should have went a different way about this. Probably should have played the Wandering... No, that wouldn't have worked either. Actually, no, Wandering with Evolve. No, wouldn't do it. Still isn't the biggest problem, but I got an F for him. Evo gives Storm to an allied follower with 5 or less attack. I think that is a viable nerf. Honestly, that could be a way to go, but... 5 or less attack. It probably makes Zeal completely useless, honestly, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to break the card. Because there's not many things you'd want to give Storm to that don't already have Storm at 5 attack range for Dragon. So that is a difficult one for sure. I want to play this so bad, but I don't want to break this. I'll be ahead on the board anyway, so we'll do it this way. We're doing a shadow stream tonight? Kind of, I guess. We're just kind of... Well, I want to finish these missions primarily. And I've been seeing so much Shadow that I thought that title was appropriate. But Forest is next, because I need to win one Forest game. So I'm probably just going to use whatever I can throw together. Probably just some kind of basic OTK roach. It just comes down to whether we can win this game or not. Alright, 6. We should just be able to drop this, fine.
You gonna mess with me? You beckoned?
We force players to choose whether to use it for board or saving it for Edeka. Yeah, pretty much. Forest sucks in this expansion. It just didn't really get much. I think that's the problem. Forest, like the Wolf Bolt is actually quite powerful. It's just the fact that things like Aggro Shadow are so strong that you can't pull things off as early as you'd like to. I wouldn't say any class necessarily sucks. I would just say because Aggro Shadow is so strong, most things can't pull off any kind of decent late game, which makes things difficult. I don't have Edeka, which is Hector, Edeka, I don't care, I pronounce it however I want. I don't have it, which makes it a huge problem for me to actually try and build. And it's not really a hard deck to play. You pretty much play on curve, so you know you're aiming for a 1, 2, 3, preferably the 3 being Catacomb. Fill your board, continually attack, continue putting things on board until turn 7, maybe even try and set up a Death Breath for turn 6. Play Edeka turn 7, flood the board with whatever you can, clear with Edeka and attack face for damage. Pretty much all you want to do. Mortal Thane is actually really good if you can play it out. Black Roach is the only forest functional deck for Bahamut. Oh, not really. Wolfbolt had a similar style. It just was too slow. And Roach was a lot quicker and easier to manage at the time. Especially when you can limit to only drawing Roach with Goblin Mage. That was the best thing ever back then. Because you could run all your 1-drops and then just pull Goblin Mage. This is going to be a pain in the ass now. That's not good, so we might just buy some time and probably pump this. Control Forest with Jungle Warden as a finisher isn't too bad. Yeah, Jungle Warden's a little too slow though. There are just better things to run. Even Grimnir is nearly better than running Jungle Warden in a lot of cases. That seems to be a problem. Like I said, Shadow's not bad. That's not the issue at all. It's just a matter of working out how to handle it. If they have a board clear, I'm fucked. Otherwise, I think I might be able to pull something off here. It's just too bad. I don't think it's that bad. Deepwood is usable. Deepwood will probably never be usable. It's just too easy to get rid of. You play it on 8, someone's going to have something to get rid of it. You're never going to be able to pull it off for a turn 9 kill. Especially if, you know, they've only got to play a ward and they block you out. It's a great meme, but it's not going to be the strongest deck ever. I need to get rid of that now without losing too much here. I think setting up the extra ward is actually half decent. Get rid of everything on board. I actually would really love to play this, but we might go that way. Actually runs anomaly in some decks and it works pretty much the times. I don't see how. Like, if you're getting anomaly to work, your opponent is playing really poorly, or they just really aren't expecting anomaly. That's probably the only way you're going to pull stuff off with that. If anomaly become popular, everyone's going to expect it and then play around it. That's going to be the problem.
I've said my last prayer.
Judgment for heretics like you.
I think the only way you can pull it off is to catch someone off guard. That's probably the only way. Or just to make sure their whole hand's whittled down. So versing something that's heavy aggro, if you can get into a late game, you're pretty much going to win anyway. It's more of a win more card than a game finisher. Like, you think of Seraph isn't really a win more, it's a win condition. Anomaly is, oh, I'm already ahead, so they can't deal with anomaly, thus I win. And then they remove that. It's the same principle as why running 3 Odin was a thing for Seraph. No, I want to try something different. Why run the same Shadow? That's no fun. I don't think of the best way to handle this. I think Nep's my only option. Not what I was aiming for with that Nep. But this way, if they don't board clear me, then they've got to use the 5 to clear the ward and then hit for 10 if they don't trade. Means I'll be able to hit for game. Maybe it's just be a forest card that gives Storm-like Zeal, then you can combo with White Wolf to make it 0 cost. That would be pretty interesting, honestly. I would be interested in seeing more cards like that. Alright, so I need another Death's Breath. I thought Nep only fetched last word cards. It's been a while since I last. No, it'll fetch anything. Which is kind of annoying, honestly, but... Alright, I'm fucked. I don't have any wards left. Nep won't make this card. Oh, no doubt they won't. It'd be too strong, but... they could make something interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if after the next set, like we have one more set and then they start rotating stuff out and get rid of it. Played more last turn, you would have won low. Yeah, that probably would have been a good shot. If I had have played Maud, yeah, probably would have been in a better spot. When you get distracted when I'm talking to you guys, that's what it is. Oh dear. Alright. Without DE, Darth Rune dies. Crutch. Oh, I play a lot worse when I'm streaming than when I do on my own. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Not for sure, but I reckon that's what they're going to go for. Looking at how many cards are released and why they're going to be yeah, it's basically a theory. I don't see them being able to keep up with what they're doing. Because they're either going to have to completely power creep the game to a point where nearly all other cards are going to be useless anyway, or they're going to rotate out sets so they can bring in newer cards to replace those sets. It's not for sure, but I reckon that's what they'll do. Well, they're going to for sure rotate out sets. They already confirmed that. It's just a matter of when. The Wandering Bard is kind of a tech-in. I wanted to see if I could get it to work at all. It's pretty useless, honestly. It's because you want to run neutrals in place of a lot of shadow cards when you're running Ledger. Dragon and Shadow finally get good. It's not a matter of them getting good, it's a matter of them being too strong. It's no different to why people cried about Forest and Daria. The exact same principle. Any deck that's winning too much is gonna get hate. That's just how things kind of work. I might actually go with the Wandering. Because we're gonna get the Ledger, which is good. Alright, I did kind of expect that.
What are you hiding inside?
Look at Pirate Warrior, Mid-Range Shaman, yeah, they're good examples.
Want to play? See? I can be graceful too.
Yeah, they were strongly hated for months, and before they were hated, they actually weren't that strong. It wasn't until that new set that really screwed everything up for them. Make them so overpowered. Basically, this exact same principle as this. As long as they don't phantom power me, I should be fine. So I'll revamp some older cards to make them more viable. Highly unlikely. I could see them more saying, alright, we're going to get rid of that set, and they're just going to introduce new cards to take those cards' place. Similar to what Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of do with cards. They don't tend to reword or remodify cards often. They've only had a couple of instances of doing so. They're more likely to get rid of whole sets or ban list of some form. I see that being more likely. I would love to see a ban list, personally. You know, this card's too strong, let's add it to a ban list. This card can't be played in ranked, it can only be played in unranked sort of style. And in tournament play, it'd be the same principle. But I can probably see them going more of the same route as Hearthstone, more of the same route of Magic, and just getting rid of whole sets. And then bringing in new sets just to sell more cards. We might go with the Goblin and the Carrot here. Too much until next expansion, to be honest. It's sad, but I think that's kind of how I feel. Oh, yeah. Some people get like that. Me, personally, I don't mind. I'll play whatever. Nep was insane with Nep. Yeah. Nep was pretty good. Fucking Etika, though. Oh, look at that. That is ridiculous. I know he needs a little bit of setup, but Shadow has no problem setting up with it. Alright, that goes to a 6-7, which is actually going to be too strong. I don't think I have a choice. I'll still buy packs to fill my collection rather than that, yeah. It would seem unlikely that the standard set would be rotated out, as it's the biggest card pool associated with it. Yeah, that's where I think they'll do something similar to Hearthstone. I don't think they'll rotate standard, but they'll take cards out of standard. So they'll basically be like, oh, you can't use this card from standard, you can't use this card. Similar to what they've done with Azure Drake and Ragnaros from Hearthstone. They'll probably follow the same kind of business model and set it up that way. I can see that being very likely. Obviously, it's all speculation on my part, but after playing so many card games and being in multiple different kinds of competitive scenes and following them, that seems to be the way companies like to work, especially when it comes to making money. Also, yeah, I can see that being the way they go about it. Is D-Shift? I doubt D-Shift would ever be rotated, honestly. D-Shift is too much of a staple card. Out of standard, I would probably see more on the either legendary side or just really strong neutral cards. Or things that are running like every deck, but we just have to wait and see what they decide in the end. I think because D-Shift would obliterate a whole archetype, which is a problem. I mean, they could. It wouldn't be the biggest deal, but I don't see that happening. Cards are no longer playable, yeah. Well, they do something similar. So they'd have, you know, you can use all cards in unranked, but you can only use these cards in ranked. I heard something. Huh. So something similar to that kind of line, I reckon, is where they'll take things. But that's, like I said, that's just my view too. Sarag with staples in Magic too. Yeah. Okay.
They're so fresh. Hey, why so angry?
Custom Magic. Still has Sarag with staples in Magic too. Yeah, but there's a difference between a staple as a one card and a staple as an archetype. So by getting rid of D-Shift, they'd be obliterating a whole archetype. By getting rid of Rag or Sylvanas, they're not destroying a whole set of cards. That's where you have a big difference. Sylvanas and Rag were something you tech into every deck. D-Shift is one card for one style of deck. It doesn't really work in anything except D-Shift. Like, you put it in Daria Rune, it's really not good. You put it in Dirt Rune, it's really not good. You know, sure, it can work, but it's not good. Levi gets rotated out too, though. Yeah, if they rotate Levi, sure, it will. But Levi is a kind of card I can see them rotating because it makes sense. Because it's in every single rune deck, regardless of what you play. It can be put in anything. So rotating it out would make sense. Draco's 5, yeah. Lich Ledger deck type. How are you finding it? It's not that bad, actually. It's quite enjoyable. Just a matter of trying to keep a good balance here. Alright, I'm not too phased by that, and I think I just hit face for damage because it forced them to have to try and deal with my board. Do the Scry consult players to get feedback, or do they just have their own balancing team? I'm pretty sure they just have their own balancing team for the most part. Sure, they'll look at what people's opinions are online. I'm sure they do. As a company, they'd be stupid not to. But in the end, they have to make the final decisions. And, like, I don't see messaging them and being like, oh, this card needs fixing, rah, is really going to help. It's basically up to their own. They have all their stats for which cards are doing well, which decks are doing well. All their client-side stuff they'd have to be able to view. So they'd know what is, you know, a problem card and what isn't. So they have a better grasp on it than us overall. It's just a matter of them making decisions on what they can do. Alright, I'm pretty sure I've won this. Was there an announcement on rotation? In a interview with IGN, they asked them about if they would rotate cards out in the future, and they said it's definitely something they're looking at doing. Wow, really? They actually managed to deal with that. That's really frustrating. I think we just play all the carrots then. Well, they have like 9 million players, so one person won't change anything. Yeah, pretty much. And they have all the stats there to see what is a problem and what isn't, and then they make their decisions that way. It's speculation on what they'll do, but they definitely said they definitely said they're thinking about rotating, for sure. And by the looks of it, they're probably going to try and do something similar to Hearthstone. I don't think they're going to go with a ban list, even though that's what I would like to see. But if I can bring up the article, they definitely were, like, by the sounds of it, they were definitely considering it, for sure. So if the first rotation, they'll give you vials, like, they don't announce anything, so people will keep buying D packs. I'm not sure how they'll do that, honestly. I don't know whether they'll just leave it as is and say, you know, this is how things are. Because, for example, Magic and other games like that, when they rotate sets, they don't give you money back. They don't give you any kind of compensation. They say, this is how it is, deal with it. And I can see them following the same kind of business model. I think that, yeah, that finished that mission, didn't it? So the only one left is Forest. Do I actually have a Forest deck here or not? No, so I'm going to have to build. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. If they decide to rotate out sets, you know, they'll still keep them playable in most settings. They'll just implement something that restricts things so ranked won't be able to use it and other things like that. If they don't announce anything, they have to announce it. They're not going to have a choice. Because as a company, imagine how bad it would look if you suddenly went, oh crap, you were not announcing it. OTK list, that'd be a pain to find. I'm much more partial to just throwing something together and going into unranked with it, honestly. That'd be a lot quicker on my end. Probably just going to go with an old style Roach deck. Honestly, I only want Forestcraft cards anyway. I don't have all the cards for Control Forest, or I probably would. I run double Sylvanas. Sylvian, sorry. A couple of Beetles are nice too. Might actually go triple Beetle. Gotta run the Elves. I only really like couple tiers. I always found 3 was too clunky. Might run a couple of wills just for clear. I was thinking of running the other card, but I don't think I will. Courage, go with Goblin Mage nerf, no 1-drop followers. It's playable, but I just prefer to avoid it overall. Where did it go? It's a neutral, that's why. I find probably dropping the Goblin Mages themselves and just playing... Where is it? 5-drop. 5, 5, 5. Running a couple of Feenas in their place works out quite well. Using a deck of commanders plus Gwen neutrals has been working well. Apparently, like a neutral style sword deck has been doing quite well lately. I might just throw in a couple of jungle wardens for some late game. Other than that, wouldn't mind running the commands, but how much of a pain they can be to get to work probably. Maybe a couple of Grimnirs because they work well for both early and late. And just tech in something as kind of a one-off might be nice. I haven't used this in long enough to actually judge what to put on off card. Actually, we might just run 3 Grimnir instead. Like that way. Combo with Zeus and Israfil has been so much fun to play. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people playing that. I was going to put 2 Dance of Death, but I think I'll just avoid it and go all out. Probably just going to throw an unranked anyway. I've only got to complete this mission with it, so... I want the game to go quick. I'm not trying to build something that's competitive. I just want a deck that's going to get me through this game. And then we'll look at doing whatever. I'm not too phased what we do after this. I just want to get these missions out of the way. Get all the gold and stuff for them.
Time for me to prove myself. The forest is angry.
We are going second, so keeping the princess is actually not too bad. Favorite card now is Man Raiders. I want to get an Israfil. I don't think I've got any of them actually. It's not one of the few legendaries for the competitive stuff I am missing. Alright. Oh, the water fairy. Hold on to that fairy circle. As to how you made out in the poverty tournament. Poverty, I came... Was it 47th or 42nd? I forget now. Someone did say the other day. I forgot. I managed. I did okay. I went 4-4, so I had 4 wins, 4 losses, 2 of which were basically handed to me because my opponents didn't turn up. But other than that, I think we go this way about it. So valuable, yeah. What did you do? I didn't do anything to her. They changed her voice actor. Which one is the gasp? It's that one. They changed the voice actor along with the expansion update, I'm pretty sure. See, that's really nice, but it's going to be out of stat range, which kind of sucks. This other Ancient Elf going to 3, plus the Evolve would make it 5, so I'm probably just going to do it that way. I could have played another card and done it that way, but I think this should actually be alright on its own. And then I just play a Water Fairy to go along with it. That way I can cycle these Ancient Elves. Alright. Okay, so 50-50, and it hits the one that I didn't... Oh, actually, it doesn't make a big difference, I guess. Either way, it was going to be a problem, but... Alright.
Force protector.
My hand's fine, now I just need to actually draw into what I need.
You're done for.
They're going to use that to kind of get the damage they want. Great.
Life's fate.
So, a Maya will do it pretty easily. Beetle Warrior is going to probably have to be the play I make, though, unfortunately. Wow, an annoying setup. Because the only other option is to play that and evolve and just waste it, but I don't want to do that really, so we might just play double Fairy and Beetle.
Life's fate is that.
Oh dear. Alright. With that, H-Nelf actually isn't a bad setup. I really hope they drew a 1-drop, but they may not have. What are the odds though? We're going to unranked and the first match we play against is Forest on Forest. Like, really? What are the odds of that? I'm really waiting to draw into a Roach. Once I've got that, I should actually be able to set up pretty easy on this guy. Get rid of that. Since we got the double fairies, we may as well play it. Every time I open a pack, all I seem to get now is vials. Yeah, that's all I get. Unless I pull a gold that I don't have or a legendary, all I get is vials.
Such negative magic.
Alright, that's one way to go about that, I guess. So I can play double fairy, beetle, return, beetle. That just doesn't really seem that worth it. But I think I actually might do this. Do a full hand refresh. Turning into non-meta decks, control sword, control forest, okay, blah. That's good though, that's how I want my unranked. I like my unranked like that. I'd much rather have unranked be different decks to ranked so you can just have some fun. Being just Shadow and Dragon really sucked for a while there. I went into unranked to finish missions and just have some fun, not bloody reverse meta decks that I'm versing in ranked, honestly. Alright. So with the return combo, we can still pull off something decent, I guess. Is there any deck where you don't want Grimnir? Nothing I can think of. Grimnir is just that versatile at the moment. Sure, there are decks that you don't need it. Yeah, like certain other decks, but I mean, most decks may as well run it anyway. And discard dragon. I've tried basic discard dragons with like OTK Newt decks for discard, stuff like that, but I've only got one Dragoon. Actually, do I even have that left anymore? I think I've still got one Dragoon, so I don't really have enough to build a full discard dragon set. So I can choose not to run Grimnir. Yeah, I can choose not to, but it also can run it. Like, there's no situation where Grimnir isn't playable nearly. Grimnir is just good.
Life's fate is thus.
Alright, so those jungle ones are actually going to be good with the enhance. I may as well actually just aim for beetles then. So, double plus a beetle. With the attack and probably just the return. Not too bad. I don't run him in mid-range Shadow since he doesn't fit the token playstyle. Actually, yeah, now I think about it, mid-range Shadow doesn't tend to run at all. Suppose that's... yeah, actually, I think Shadow is probably the only class that doesn't really run Grimnir at all.
It won't be long now.
Like, I can't think of any Shadow deck that I have played that can run Grimnir in a really decent way. That's really super annoying now. Like, I mean, I can deal with it, I guess, in the next couple of turns. It's just going to be an absolute pain in the ass. And I've got to waste some friggin' cards on it. It's frustrating.
Negative magic. Hey, let's play. Stop.
Probably running Warden as well. Yeah, probably. Not much I can do about that, though. I'm probably going to have to counter his Warden with Grimnir. Yep, Shadow with Lurking Corp Tribunals runs Grimnir. I can, yeah. It definitely can. There's no reason it can't. If I play my Grimnir here, I'm probably just going to be a disadvantage anyway. If I play Jungle Warden, I can go for 8, save Grimnir till next turn, and just play it then. That's probably how I'm going to do it. Just deal the 8 damage I need to face. If I draw in a Roach, I can actually set up a really nice play. Okay, so they're going to use that for the most of the clear damage they need. Playing it with 8 it means they can deal 8 damage, which sets them in a perfect spot to kill those. Great. Oh.
Good swing it.
Ugh.
Good swing it.
Hey, let's play. Hey, let's play. Ow!
I really want my own Roach set here. That'd be really nice. Grimnir for 4.
My Tempest shall judge you.
And we try and set up double Fairy, Beetle, H and Elf, Beetle. Actually, that will work. Return, yeah. Triple Beetle.
This ends here. Guide me, Elder Tree.
Sorry, actually, it'll only be double Beetle, won't it?
Ow.
I should probably try and set that up properly.
Hey, let's play.
If I can get Roach, though, I can actually do triple Roach, which would be well and truly enough, I reckon. That's a problem.
Ow!
Really want to play Will of the Forest. Like, really badly. That's a full board clear now.
Negative magic. Let's play.
So instead of going for the one I was going to go for, I think we just changed things up and we aim for a little more of a defensive play. Should hopefully keep me out of range. Where'd my thingy go? There it is. That was weird. This should keep me out of range of Warden, which is good.
My Tempest shall judge
Grimnir's a little bit of a pain, but it's pretty easily dealt with.
Oh, come on! Hey, let's play.
That's +1/+1, isn't it? So that will actually be able to kill Grimnir. Hit for 4.
Let's play.
Long game, yeah, definitely. And that's game.
my Tempest.
Grimnir top deck for game.
Oh, come on! Ow! Oh, come on!
Well, certainly a long game, that's for sure. But we did it.
I did it! I won!
And I still haven't managed to get Forest to 100 yet. Alright, they're all good then. My next score award actually isn't too far, so we might aim for that and then we'll open a couple packs. Alright, what should I play on here? Do that, Shadow and Dragon. More back and forth, yeah. I can try the Daria rune again. I haven't messed around with that too much. I am quite a big fan of Rune and Blood. Open pack. I'm going to open a pack after. I want to try and get the next pack for score awards, and then we'll open both. We'll open a couple of Tempest packs. Once this month runs out, I'm probably actually going to start saving up for the next expansion. If I can leave a good 2-month gap, I should be able to easily save for what I want. We'll drop the Conjure here. So we've only got, what, 6 or so more days, and then I'm going to start saving gold. There's actually no reason to play Angelic Snipe. Alright, man. Good night. Hope you enjoyed it. Now the expansion has been live for about a month. What's your favorite card from the set? A very good question. My favorite card from the set. Just my overall favorite, or for like actual like competitive play kind of play? Because like if it's just overall, I would say my favorite is probably Maelstrom Serpent. I really do like it. I think Serpent's fun. If it has to be competitive wise, I would say Aegis is probably one of my favorite. He's just great fun to play with, and he's still in probably a tier 2 sort of range overall, but he's definitely good. And it keeps things a little different. Yeah, personal, yeah, it's definitely based Maelstrom Serpent. Maelstrom Serpent's probably my favorite overall. I really enjoy that as a card. It's fun when you pull it off. It looks hilarious. It's just fun. 2 months of saving should be about 80 to 100 packs. Well, I had about a month and a half saving last time, and I had 80. So I think this time we should actually nearly be closer to 150 at the rate I usually earn gold. If I keep it up consistently. I think we should be well over 100, which would be nice. Plus, I get enough packs from everything else, so I'm not too worried about that.
I'm just a mage who's as old as dirt.
You're done for.
I should have just played Daria, honestly.
Back in the old days.
How about this now?
Oh dear. Let's see. S kind of puts a cap on how long your game can go. The games are only meant to go for about 10 turns anyway. That's what the developers want, so... It's a bit hard to complain when that's exactly what they want to happen. Don't draw 3 Oh, I know. If I draw my 3rd Daria next turn, I'll be so unhappy.
Unbelievable.
Alright, we just trade the 4 then. Kill the Zeal.
Such pain.
I have no regrets.
And we should just be able to play Witch and drop Daria.
With a bang and a boom.
No, it's just straight Daria. Daria still isn't entirely bad, which is nice. We might go for that instead this time, because we don't really need to drop Daria much further. Play that again.
Bluest water.
It won't be long now.
A dance to make the world.
Alright. I'm gonna deal with that.
I lost? Yeah.
What fun. Let's see what I can get.
It won't be long now.
I think it's the dragon that's in behind her.
How about this now?
More than anything.
All must come to an end.
Problem now is dragon has so many ways to board clear, so killing Daria off is actually really easy when you're playing dragon. Which sucks. There's one example.
I lost? Yeah, right.
Yeah, screw it. It's gonna be a waste of time to try and pull back off this.
Through.
Dun dun dun. Okay. I don't know what to play then. I might actually, well, we'll try the Storm. Screw it. I only want to get a couple wins so we get that pack. Then I'll be happy.
Is fighting
Okay.
for all you know? You must die.
Not too bad. I can work with this, which is good. And drop Reno next.
Nothing can get me down.
I love Winged Sentinel. Like one of my favorite cards. Like I would probably have a top 50 cards one day. I'll do a whole video just where I go through my top 50 favorite cards and why. The game after expansions has become relatively boring to watch, especially in tournaments. I mean, it's no different to it's ever been, really. Stop, Evan. Oh dear.
I am the Mad Cyclone.
One card a turn, I guess. But when I consider it, it's no different to the meta we're in with Daria and Roach, really. Very similar.
Your evil deeds end now.
Part in future tournaments, would you be recording it and commentating on it afterwards? Looking better understand the thought process of some situations. I'd definitely consider it. I would definitely like to. The problem at the moment is I don't have much experience with Shadowverse tournaments, so even just getting my head around the whole thing to start with can be a pain in the ass. If I do get a chance to participate in more, and probably 3 or 4 in, I'd definitely consider doing that. Maybe even sooner if I definitely get the hang of it.
Take my shield. I won't lose again.
It's literally just going to be a matter of learning the tournament scene a little bit more. Going through more tournaments, especially more actual tournaments and not just kind of meme-styled ones.
You've gotta see me dance. Leave it to me. It won't be long now.
Like, ranked is a very, very different beast to tournaments. I actually really want to have a chance to talk to XL at some point and see what I can actually learn from him.
Your evil deeds end now.
Because he seems to have a pretty good grasp on the way to structure a tournament and set up for a tournament. So it'd be nice to learn a few tips from him on how I should be overall preparing and what to expect, sort of thing. It's just the other big problem is time zones. Being in Australia really limits me on what I can play and when. Mainly because I'm not up at fucking ridiculous hours of the morning. I'm normally go to sleep about 2-ish, get up about 10-ish. Sometimes a little earlier when I have to. So to completely adjust my sleep schedule's always been a pain. Call me a madman, but I fed off an Argus to make myself a lich. Oh, use. Oh, wow. If you're not going to use Argus, it makes sense. Alright, this is actually going to become really difficult really quickly. Alright. I'm actually thinking this is actually going to be the better play now. I need these draws. Alright, that's actually going to work out okay. Probably actually should have just attacked, but... we'll see. I'm definitely interested in this sword. I just don't have the cards to build it. I have no Gwains. I've only got one Roland. That's where I run into problems. It's just a matter of having enough cards and having money to do anything. Yeah, see, this is why I should have done what I thought earlier. Okay. The problem, because I want to get rid of this, but I need to get rid of that. One bonuses, that's actually going to be really handy. General. This sword deck's actually really piqued my interest though. Let's see what comes out next. This definitely is a cool deck. If I had the cards for it, I'd probably build it. I just need to find a decent deck list for it and work out if there is anything I can change to fit more of what I need. Of course, fucking Bahamut. Play roll and follow up with front guard. Definitely not a bad idea. If anyone does have a deck list and wants to shoot it my way, go for it for that, and I'll have to take a look. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be missing at least 50% of the legendaries I need, which is unfortunate. But I'd definitely be interested in checking out a deck list. Might even use them for a video. I've actually got one deck still lined up for a video that I've got to work on. And today's video is... it'll be out in a couple hours. Let's see. I forgot what video I did. I think it's Auto Rune was the next video I did. And then I've got to create fresh ones for today. Well, fresh ones for tomorrow, Wednesday, and probably Thursday. That's what I usually try and make. Oh, you make 2 to 3 days in advance normally. Wish I could have drawn that earlier. Run sad, yeah. That's it. If I don't have the cards for it, it becomes really difficult to make anything. That one? Nope. I don't remember which deck it was now. If I had the cards for it to make neutral command deck based around playing playing the Wandering Bard and concealing it with Shadowed Assassin. Seems like it could be fun. Yeah, that could actually be really interesting. 45 to 60k vials, yeah. 3 Albert. Yeah, I've only got 2 Albert, which kind of sucks. I've never got a third one, unfortunately. If you liquefy all your crap bronze and silvers, you have a ton of ours. Not really. Silvers and bronze are worth nearly nothing. And I'd rather keep 3 of every set when I've already got pretty much everything I need for them. There's no point getting rid of a bunch of stuff that I could possibly use. Especially when cards with new sets come out can become quite playable. And I need them for meme purposes and just to make whatever I want, pretty much. I usually only liquefy extra animates that I really couldn't care less about, or golds and legends that have no use, just so I can build other golds and legends, pretty much. That was a really good draw. Wish I had a way to use this more effectively. Banish that, kill off 2 things. Reaper goes to 4/4. It's also then going to be easily targetable by Dance of Death or Tribunal, so that should be fine. Alright, I just need to come up with a way to work with that. I also wish I knew which deck I was looking for. I've got like 4 decks in my deck bookmarks, and I can't remember which one's the one I actually want.
Dance, dear bones of white.
Liking Tangling Vines probably won't ever be good. It's still worth having. Yeah. I don't see the point of getting rid of stuff that's not worth much overall. That's a real pain. The other problem with this deck is you don't run anything too solid, which sucks. May as well just get rid of that. Worst case, they play another Catacombs, I guess. This is the one I was after. Aggro Rune. Cool, so that's probably going to be my next video. It'll probably be Aggro Rune. Or I may make something else and then use Aggro Rune as the one after that, just to kind of break up the videos. But if you guys have decks, preferably cheap decks that you think are fun or entertaining, I'll be willing to give them a shot and I'll probably turn them into a video. I'm always looking for new content. I'm also, very, very soon, I will be contacting people who are interested in collabing if you are a small YouTuber. So that's definitely something I'm looking at doing very soon. Just a matter of how I go about pulling it off. I really hate how I want to do this, but I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Winged Sentinel pops open the 3/3, and of course, Edeka. Fuck you, Edeka. And even if I had to try and clear it, Edeka was going to kill me. Great. Hector, Edeka, I don't fucking care. Pronunciation is not my strong suit. Controller, it's great fun, but it's shit in the middle. Yeah, I've got a kind of variation on Dirt Rune deck. And yeah, it's alright, but they're definitely not great at this stage. I'm not really even just looking for things that are meta, I'm looking for anything at the moment. Anything interesting and different, but that actually has a function and can work. Alright, I'm just trying to think of a way that I can actually just win outright. We might actually just run classic aggro blood. That's usually quite powerful and quick to get games over with. Probably still one of my favorite decks.
Time to get started. Mother, father, come on.
I really want a 1-drop. Damn it. I was like, alright, we'll get rid of these because I want to take the chance. I'm going to try and pull a 1-drop. Double Eurus is still nice, but it's just going to be difficult, especially going first like this with what I've got. If I had a 1-drop, I wouldn't be so worried. But they didn't play anything, so that's a bonus. Yeah, for a Dorian deck using Ginger with Pascal. I don't have the cards for it, but would likely Interesting to try at least. That is actually really interesting. I've got a couple of gingers. I don't know about the other card, but it would definitely be interesting to see if I could work something like that out. Alright, this is actually pretty good. Not how I wanted to use that, and I could have just played the Noble, but with the Evolve coming up next, I think that was a better way to go about it. Have you tried Castle in the Sky Sword? No, and I don't think I have any castles. Actually, I'm pretty certain I don't have any castles. Now I've got to get rid of this fucking thing. Alright.
With me? I'm gonna tell on you, beckon!
Want to play?
Your flesh and bones are mine! Me? Really?
Okay, a little annoying, but something I can definitely deal with, I guess. Should have actually played the Cursed. Meh, not a big deal. Passive effect is end turn, so it will trigger if you flood the board at 0 mana. Yeah, that could be really interesting. Run his Cursed General Sword. I've already done Cursed General Sword. I did that ages ago.
Love remedies all.
I have a whole video on Cursed General Sword if you go back far enough. After all, I've been making videos for a while now. We'll go this one, and we might actually throw everything on the board, screw it. Worst case, I get Foul Tempest, which is highly possible, because by the looks of it, this is a Ledger style deck, some form. Yay! Fuck this. Too much effort.
Oh man, you beat me.
Alright, there we go. What I sing the stream title? I have no clue, man. Heelhaven, I've done God knows how many Heelhaven decks. I've covered a lot, like, I've covered a lot of decks. I've actually covered some decks twice. We might just open a pack then. I can't be fucked trying to get that right this second. We might actually move and try and do an arena run instead. Screw it. Oops, not what I want. Tempest. Commander Sword. I did a brief Commander Sword. I just don't have what I need to build it completely, which sucks. If I had every card in the game, I wouldn't have as much trouble building decks for videos. Fucking 3 Halo Golem, really? I wouldn't have as much trouble as I'm having now. Like, I can't build a full Ramp Dragon because I don't have everything I need. Can't build Commander Sword decks because I don't have Gwaines. I don't have a lot of other things like that. And I can't build Mid-Shadow because I'm missing Hector. So, makes things really difficult. We'll take Dragon. I really like the Rahab. Really fun. So, my biggest problem right now is those. I might take these. Build Dirt Rune Ginger deck. Yeah, that seems to be about all I've got cards for at the moment. I have one Otahime, only because I bought the it called? I forget what it's called. The deck thing. The pre-builts. I don't have much of that either, unfortunately. Dragon Scyther's not too bad. Yeah, it's a death set. I'm gonna need some more early game, I think. Be nice if I could draw in my ramp. I actually really like those. If I can get into something to go with them. That. Since we have got a few late game, I might be able to pull off the Mammoth. Come on, give me some more decent early game. Big Freak could have been nice, but I'll forego that. That's not too bad. On Serpent, summon a Megaloka if Overflow is active. And that's only a 2/2, isn't it? So basically 6/6 of value. I think I'm gonna get more value out of the Dragon's Nest. That's nice. Alright, so we don't have much early ramp, but we have mid-game ramp, which should be okay. So that should actually work out pretty well. Oh, okay. I might try and work out something to do with the Dirt Ginger deck then. I'll definitely consider it. It's definitely something I'm interested in. My opponents you don't need. You don't want too many 2/3-ups. Yeah, you don't want too many obviously, but I had like none nearly at the start with there for a sec, which is really not good. So now I'm no early game at all. At this rate, I'm just going to drop Frozen for 3. Because I don't have anything else to play.
My heart in a verse.
Probably drop Rahab on 4. Hunting on 5, and then either Island Whale or Dragon Guard, depending. Probably the Whale, because the Guard I would probably want to use with Overflow for the ward. We're going to take 4 to 6, 2 4 drops. Yeah, that's not too bad, I guess. Third Sybil or a third Bahamut first. I have no clue. Probably Sybil personally, but then Bahamut can work in other decks, so it's a really hard decision. Problem cards have Enhance, yeah. I can't stand prioritizing ones with Enhance. That does make sense. All right. The one advantage, I guess, is I'm gonna have a really strong late game from turn 5 onwards now. Try for a Wilfred deck. Okay, best idea. Dream Curve would be 6 Otohime, 7 Koga, 8 Wilfred, and the rest of the deck you'd fill with mostly mid-range sword cards. Yeah, that sounds plausible. I could definitely work something with that. Get rid of that. I try a neutral sword deck with conscription guaranteed Gwaine draw. I don't even have Gwaine, so that's going to screw me over. It's one of the few cards I never pulled. And they're too expensive to craft. Mainly been talking about, at this stage, different deck ideas that I could work in for videos and stuff. They don't have to be competitive. They just have to be playable and fun. Fucking pain in the ass. Seems like a waste, and it probably is, but if I can prioritize these at the moment, I'm really not worried about evolving. We may just drop the Neptune for 7. It's a ward, basically under the same job as Dragon Guard. Also, it will summon the Mammoth and summon itself. A Megaloka thingy, Megaloka, I don't know, whatever it is. which is pretty good.
Snacks check. Harness check.
Since that's going to be a pain in the ass, great. Oh, enhanced 7 gain storm. They didn't play it on 7 like that. It's actually not too bad for me.
Phew, what a nail biter.
I am the water's watcher.
Alright, so if I can just keep warding, I should be okay. I mean, my board is huge. Unless they lightning blast, I'm really not at too big a threat. With what's here, I can deal, what, 19 damage from board? And Scythe the next turn for 2, that will be easily lethal. It's a matter of what they have. They've got to choose an evolve if they want to survive.
It won't be long now.
The weird choice. Don't try trusting Venus opponent, discard. Okay. Sounds good to me. You should be able to hit me up on Discord. Probably the best place to find me, honestly. 6, 12. May as well just ward up. Get rid of the couple things here. Keep the Megla. Deal for 2 and play Unica for healing. These island whales are just such big threats. Like, they're not bad. I just need to get them out. Alright, Disaster Dragon. Great. Should have pushed more damage. I was going to push more damage, but I think making sure I'm not fucking dead was more important. It would only take a lightning blast and some kind of like dragon scyther to really put me in a bad spot. I'm not too worried about his turn 10. Because then he has to spend his entire turn dealing with my board. And I get to pretty easily deal with his. If he had those, do you think? Probably not. He probably would have saved them up. Plus, there's always a chance he could have drawn into them.
Let the people rejoice.
You've gotta see me dance. La 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 la.
That's why I didn't overcommit that last turn.
You're a solid fighter. I only did what I had to.
Because it only would have taken for him to have an Israfil, play it, evolve, and I would have been dead if I overcommitted too much damage.
This one's for my family.
You must die.
We are going first. I'll hold on to the Draconic. And because he couldn't play Israfil until turn 9 anyway if he had it, which fortunately he didn't, but I mean, if he did... Yeah, he had 4 on board, he had an Evo point. So if I had have attacked face, ignored what was on his board, he would have been left with 4 on board. Israfil comes down, he attacks, he clears off the wards because the other ward was on quite a low health total anyway. Then the 2 4/4s plus the Israfil's 2 damage is 6, that's lethal for turn 9 if I had have overcommitted any more damage. And the amount of times I've been killed by an Israfil in arena is ridiculous. And what do you think I was talking about? Turn 8 is when I attacked. So he was going into turn 9. His turn 9 with Israfil would have been a clear. Either way, it's really not a big deal. I won the game anyway. Playing arena at the moment. We have cunning. He's solid 5. Alright. Oops. Let's just go dealing with that. Any news on upcoming collabs? I haven't talked to anyone yet. I'm very, very close to considering doing something. Big sword or doing class Y. Oh God. Well, what were my choices in the end anyway? I don't even think sword was one of my choices. But I'm going to hopefully put a post in the Discord looking for anyone, and probably a post on my Twitter, and maybe even try and find some smaller ones on my own and then reach out to them individually and work from there. Alright, so as long as they don't have a way to clear this, Frog should probably have to trade. A little worried about what they could have. I'm not in a great spot against Frog. Like, the one card you don't want Sword to pull in Arena is fucking Frog with some buffs. Like, a shocking way to have to deal with things. I'm not aiming for 5 wins anyway. That doesn't matter. Fucking ambushes. Alright, so... At least with that, it does become a ward, so I can probably use that to block out the next set of damage. Just need to hope they can't clear that again. It'll be a problem. Three, yeah, that sounds more like something I would end up with. Drop a second owl then. Probably could have went with the evolve and pushed a little more. Games in Take-Two feel like playing against a constructed deck, damn. I'll definitely be interested in taking a look. Best place to send it would be to me on Twitter. That's going to be probably the easiest. The other option is the Discord, which I can post in the chats now. Obviously, I can't get to everyone in the Discord, so I normally will read everyone's messages. It's just a matter of having time to reply. Or having the interest to reply in some cases. But if you have something interesting to present me or a deck idea or something, I can usually get back to you if I find it interesting enough. Just a matter of you can't contact everyone. Well, you want to drop it on you want to private message me on Discord probably, because I'm part of the Nexus Discord. I predominantly hang out there, and I don't use my own private Discord at all. I've got one, I just don't use it. After this run, we'll probably be close to wrapping things up, so probably not. I want to get some work done with videos, and I want to start trying to organize these private matches, hopefully, so that I can hopefully team up with some people in the future.
At least it was at sea.
Wish I had something with Storm. That would have been nice.
I'm the guardian of the sky. My dragon and I are one. It won't be long.
Alright. Luckily, they haven't been able to do anything with these frogs and wards yet.
Talents are coming out now.
Ugh. Yeah, for a deck, watching other YouTubers, do we need to credit them before posting the deck list? See, I find stuff like that's really tricky, so I don't know for sure. I would say if you have got the deck, like if you've just copy and pasted the deck, then probably a good idea just to mention where they're from. Overall, as just kind of a courtesy thing. Obviously, you can't do that for every deck because you don't know where they originate. You don't know who actually created it originally. Someone could have created the same deck as someone else, and they both think it's theirs. But overall, usually, if someone recommends a deck to me, I'll be like, oh, this is something someone recommended on stream, or this is something like that. Usually, I'll do that. Should I look up in? Well, I did post the Discord. Did it not go up, or is it just me? You'll be able to find me in the Shadow Nexus's Discord. I am a Shadow Nexus member, so an easy way to hit me up there. This is gonna be painful. Dragon Scyther would be lethal, wouldn't it? Yep, there we go. Scyther's lethal. Otherwise, I was probably just going to play for the heal and try and kill off the wards. If I had have evolved out earlier, it would have been lethal, yeah. If I had have evolved at a turn earlier, but I kind of wanted to save the evolve in case I needed it. Could you post it in Twitch chat? I can't click it there. It should be in Twitch. It should have posted to Twitch chat because I don't have Twitch chat open right now. So weird. Because what I'm using should automatically post both to Twitch chat and to YouTube. It should be set for both, so that's really odd. Now I'm going to spend forever trying to load up Twitch, because Twitch has been a real pain for trying to actually load things up lately. If it does decide to actually load. Oh, turn 6, just so satisfying. Alright, let's post that straight into the Twitch chat then.
This one's for my family.
You must die.
Yeah, I'm probably actually going to keep the sand. Alright. Pay to win thought? I don't know about that. No worries. Shadowverse is probably one of the least pay-to-win games I've ever played when it comes to free games. They give you pretty much everything you could possibly need, and paying is just an extra. Like, I spent a little bit because I bought some gems the other day for like a little bit, but other than that, I've spent probably $30 odd, I think. Just gonna lurk. Oh, that's alright, man. We're only gonna play this take 2 and then probably wrap up though.
I'm on my way, princess.
Not fun doing it this way, but don't have a turn 5 outside of Furfur, do I?
Forget me. Just
Suppose Furfur's not bad because it means I can drop Neptune turn 6. But I'm going to take a lot of damage, and I don't like that. They have a really good aggro. Mine's just too slow. Alright, see ya.
you are done for.
Alright, Unicorn Dancer. Pain in the ass. Alright, so even the healing isn't going to save me. It's only going to take me to 7. Dance of Death is nowhere near enough either. So, that's fucking loss. Ah, fuck's sake, now my thing's fucked up. Fuck me, now I fucking broke my chat. I got my chat sitting here on the side where I like to have it. Now I broke it. Because it's automatically stuck with control thing now. There we go, fixed it. Now it shouldn't matter. I hope, maybe. Actually, I think it's still broken. I might have to move it over here. Oh, what a pain now. Alright, 2-1, that's not too bad so far. Find a good one. Budget Earth deck. Basically anything that doesn't run Hulking Giant is usually not too bad. Hulking Giant's probably the most expensive Earth deck card that you probably could have. Recommended craft? Jeez. I have no clue, man. It depends on what you've got, depends on what you like to play, depends on whether you just want to rank. You know, there's so many factors that go into just deciding.
Bow before Dark Dragoon, ruler of the skies.
Oh dear.
Greetings.
Alright, TV. Pull the dragon, oh wait. Alrighty. Oh, that Sibyl's really nice. I'm gonna create a nice ramp. Especially since I can use it with the evolve. That's it. If you want a cheap Earth deck, basically just cut Hulking and run the golds like Professor of Taboos and all that anyway. Usually be pretty fine. Wow, this is really bad. We're both running right up until turn 5. And I'm at a disadvantage with them going first at this point. Well, me going first, sorry, them ramping. They've had, what, double ramp now? Just single ramp. Single ramp, still more than what I have. Now I should hopefully be able to pull stuff off.
Bluest water.
Like, I mean, I should be able to hopefully just play Neptune.
Bluest
Maybe even take the evolve with it, would be nice.
There's a lot more where that came from.
Oh, we might actually just play Blazing.
to make the world blue.
No, because Blazing won't kill it, will it?
All must come to an end.
I'm gonna have to go Neptune.
I am the Walter's Watcher.
Be gone.
Tempo variant is better than Hulking.
Show me
Yeah, tempo can be quite good. An annoying card.
Witness my true strength.
At least it doesn't look like they pulled anything, so that's nice.
Sacred one.
Probably blazing into Draconic.
Such pain.
We may as well just play that. The extra draw and a little bit of healing if they do any damage. Okay, let's check out this deck then. Looks like I have pretty much everything that it would need. The only thing I'd worry about is Catherine Wilfred, but I did just pull one of those, so I should be actually able to build that. So I'll most likely make a video of that. I'll either credit you in the description or however in video as well, probably. Gotta work out how I'd go about it. Axe Fighter, nope. Dragoon Scyther isn't bad because it does get clear without having to waste too much. Kinda nice. Plus, if I can save the Zeal, that would be really good. I don't know how to send you the big. Oh dear. Ramp if you can't fill your curve, yeah. It was the draw I was looking for though. More so than the ramp when I got to that point. So that I could fill out my curve a little better. Which with what I've got shouldn't be too bad. I mean, if that takes damage, I evolve it. Attack. Heal. Attack. That's 14. But it looks like it's going to be completely countered by this Ouroboros, which sucks.
You have
That works out for you. I'll definitely have to check it out, and if it does need some improvement, I'll probably have to do a couple of tests with it to make sure, but other than that, it should be alright. I look for anything interesting. That's an absolute bitch to deal with now. I actually don't think I have anything that can counter Auro here. I mean, this is going to become quite powerful. Other than that, it's going to be, I'm dead. So, the Island Whale works. I mean, it buys me 1 health, I guess. And I might as well just throw the Axe Fighter out. That's collateral damage. Ah, dear. I really need a better early game as well with this. Something more solid for the early would have been nice. So well, there's 2 videos to work on. So I probably need to find one more kind of deck to work with.
You're a solid fighter.
Yeah, there we go. Zeal for Storm, he has lethal. What lethal would he have had? What did he use? Maybe he hadn't used all his evolve. Either way, if I had have used Zeal, he would have just played Oro again, hit me for 3, used the DAC anyway, dealt the damage. I avoid adding anyone, so that's probably not going to work out for you either. Whoops, now I clicked home instead of take 2. Great. The amount of times I've done that. I don't think I had much chance in that game anyway. Once I knew he had Oro, I was pretty much fucked either way. Oh yeah, Dragon Claw. That's right. I forget that it adds 1 damage to things. Either way though, I think I was pretty screwed. Yeah, I forget about Dragon Claw all the time. You have no clue, because you don't see it that often. So it's something I always forget when it comes to damage. Not that it would have made a big difference, I would have probably died either way.
This one's for my family.
Is fighting and despair all you
I just have no early game, which makes things really difficult. So if I can pull into any kind of decent early game for once. That's not bad, but I'm probably am gonna have to play it on 3, which sucks. I'd much rather play it on 7. At least it's something in my hand that I can use.
Let the people rejoice.
Great, and Skeeter completely makes Dragon Scyther useless, so Axe Fighter's gonna have to be my play. Luckily we did draw that, so that's good. Alright.
Stay out of my axe's reach.
Turn 4, maybe Dragon Nest and Dragoon if we don't draw into anything else. Then once we finish up here, I'm probably going to go have something to eat, then work on some videos, and probably start trying to work out who I want to contact and work with for some tournament style videos, which should be a lot higher quality, so I'm going to be doing some nice editing to them, I hope, to include different things. Do 1 damage to all our followers. See, that would be really nice. But I may actually just play these out.
Be gone.
I mean, I get to keep both. I get to play Dragon Egg, which is a free draw and heal at turn 7. And I can probably just use Fur as a heal and draw, plus the little bit of ramp, so I can hopefully pull a 7 drop. Otherwise, I may have to just play Cunning. I mean, I could have played the Dragon.
You're not gonna crack me, are you?
Well, this is good. At least it means they're going to waste this evolve here. Try and clear.
Let's go. I surrender.
I don't mind when they waste it on an egg and they're only getting a couple things. Alright, let's try and fill out this curve a little bit. Alright. Suppose that's not too bad. I mean, I can use Owl Guardian along with Blazing. Maybe even use Owl Guardian's Evolve for damage.
Light for the world of man.
Actually, now our Guardian's looking really good. Gotta think about how I want to use it. Definitely gonna discard Blazing. Good.
Here's my armor. It won't be long now. Flurry of the talents are coming out now.
Alright, so going from here, maybe Island Whale and Zeal as a combo. I don't play anything too crazy. Also, I should be streaming tomorrow as long as nothing gets in the way. I usually don't stream tomorrow, but because I'm unable to stream Wednesday due to appointments, I thought I'd make up for that by doing it tomorrow.
The real battle begins.
Alright. Kinda shitty, but guess I'm just gonna deal with it.
The sky's my destination.
Really hate this
Time to say goodbye.
a lot.
Now.
But if I don't get rid of this, well I can, I'll be screwed anyway. And I feel like unless they have Aegis or something huge, it's going to be really hard for them to pull back off this. Maybe even Seraph would have to be needed. But that may buy me enough time to actually play a decent set of cards here. Neptune plus Unica maybe as my next play. Or maybe even the Cunning and then Dragon. Might be nice. Just got to work out how I want to do this.
Oh, that's it.
Looks like we'll go this way then.
I am the water's watcher.
Especially since they just played Grail.
No!
It means unless they have another Grail or Broad Clear, I should be fine. Actually, I probably should have just played Zeal instead of the Unica. Might have been better. Maybe even the Valkyrie Spear might have been good. That way if they did board clear me, I wouldn't have been in such a tight spot either. But I will be, what, 1 damage off lethal? Alright, a little bit more now. Alright, so this damnation is going to be a problem. It will clear. Alright, I'll hold on to that. And we might just go for a full board then. Then, if something does get cleared, which I'm suspecting it probably will, I can probably just use Dragon Tamer for 1 extra, which is nice. So worst case would have been... Yes, no Damnation, so that's really good. So even with Silent Rider, they're not going to be able to heal. Which means Silent Rider plus this guy killing something else means I'm going to be left with plenty of damage. I reckon that's what they'll go for. The only risk is they have something with the 4-drop range that will finish me off. I don't reckon they're going to play Servant, and I don't think they're going to use Reckoning. Because that wastes pretty much their entire hand. I mean, Servant can work if they play something else to go with the 5, but other than that, don't see them doing it. And that'll put us at 3 and 2, which is pretty much where I expected to be sitting. Alright, so that's actually more interesting. Now, they can decide to trade in one of 2 ways. I should still be pretty fine. Just that 4 extra points that I've got to worry about. They might have something to deal with it. Alright. Still have enough damage, shouldn't we? Yeah. Cool.
I have lost.
Putting that extra damage on board was worth it in the end.
I only did what I had to.
I haven't got Dragon up either. They're like the 2 I'm missing. Gonna be hours away for that anyway. Alright, so we should just be able to claim our rewards and be happy with them. Hope. 3 is about my average, I think, so far. 80's not bad. That's another free pack. Alright, I'll start with the standard since we've got a ticket. Let's see what we can pull before we wrap things up. Come on. Settle for any legendary, even if I have to dust it. Nope, nothing. So, all dust. Alright, let's see if we can pull off this. Dark Janine would actually be nice. That's one of the few cards I would have liked to have put in my Stormhaven. Ooh. Not bad. Not that I really need it, but still a legend, so that's better than nothing. I've only had 1 5 win ever. I'm not an expert arena player at all, like by far. Plus, I only play kind of here and there and mostly on stream, so I never perform as well on stream as I do on my own. Alright, that's pretty good. So we'll get rid of liquefy cards. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you guys had some fun. I will be up tomorrow, so you can find me at the same time. Other than that, I don't think there's much to say. I'll be hanging around the Discord here and there while I work on videos and other stuff, so I'll just be kind of in and out for the rest of the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time. And I have a lot of Tempest legendaries. While we liquefying stuff, I'll show you guys, and we'll wrap things up. So I'll get rid of whatever extras. Alright, there we go. Plenty of extras. Legendary Tempest. What I got from the Tempest set. I did have an animated this, but I got rid of it to make other stuff. I have 3 Hulkings. Crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.